Welcome back. In this video I will solve some more questions based on the limits of trigonometric functions. So in this tutorial I will evaluate the limits of some trigonometric functions. So first of all, let us solve this question. So it is limit x tends to 0 tan 2x minus sine 2x upon x cube. We have to evaluate the limit of this function. So you can see here in numerator, here in numerator we have tan 2x. So tan 2x can be written as sine 2x upon cos 2x. So it will be equal to limit x tends to 0. In numerator we have sine 2x minus cos 2x into sine 2x upon cos 2x into x raised to power 3, and it is equal to limit x tends to 0 sine 2x. Now you can see here in numerator we will take sine 2x common, so we will have sine 2x into 1 minus cos 2x, and in denominator we will have x cube cos 2x. Right? Now it is equal to limit x tends to 0 sine 2x upon cos 2x into x into limit x tends to 0 1 minus cos 2x upon x square. Right? So we have written it like this. So it is equal to limit x tends to 0 sine 2x upon cos 2x is tan 2x. So we will write it like this, tan 2x upon x. Now we will multiply numerator and denominator both by 2. So we will get tan 2x upon 2x into 2 into limit x tends to 0. Now 1 minus cos 2x is what? It is twice sine square x. 1 minus cos 2x is equal to 2 sine square x. In denominator we have x square. Now see here, as x tends to 0, therefore 2x will also tends to 0, right? So we can write it like this, limit 2x tends to 0 tan 2x upon 2x into 2 into limit x tends to 0 2 sine x upon x into limit x tends to 0 sine x upon x. Right? Now as you can see here 2x tends to 0, so the limit of tan 2x upon 2x, it will be 1. Similarly you can see here limit x tends to 0 sine x upon x, right? As x tends to 0, the limit of sine x upon x will be 1. So we will have 2 into 1, and here also it will be equal to 1. So it is equal to 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So here we have used this theorem. What is that? Limit x tends to 0 sin x upon x is equal to 1, and when limit x tends to 0, tan x upon x is equal to 1. So here we have used these two theorems. Now let us solve one more question. It is also similar to this one which we have solved right now. The question is, we have to evaluate the limit of this function as x tends to 0. The function is tan x minus sin x upon x cube, right? So this question is also similar to the previous one. Let us solve this question. The question is limit x tends to 0 tan x minus sin x upon x cube. So what is tan x? Tan x is sin x upon cos x. So we will write it like this. Limit x tends to 0 sin x upon cos x minus sin x upon x cube, right? It will be equal to limit x tends to 0 sin x minus cos x into sin x upon x cube into cos x, right? So it will be equal to limit x tends to 0. Now in numerator we will take sin x common. So it will be 1 minus cos x upon x cube cos x. And it is equal to what? It is equal to limit x tends to 0. Now what is sin x upon cos x? It is tan x. So we will have tan x into what is 1 minus cos x? It is twice sine square x by 2 upon x cube, right? And it is equal to limit x tends to 0 tan x upon x into limit x tends to 0 to sine x by 2 upon x into limit x tends to 0 sine x by 2 upon x, right? So limit x tends to 0 tan x upon x, this expression will be equal to 1. Now see here, now see this expression. Now this 2, it can come here, right? We can write it like this, in denominator x by 2. Now as x tends to 0, therefore x by 2 will also tends to 0, right? So the value of this expression will also be 1. Now next is limit x tends to 0 sine x by 2 upon x. Now what we will do, in denominator we will multiply it and divide x by 2, right? So it will be equal to 1 by 2 limit as x tends to 0, therefore x by 2 will also tends to 0, right? Sine x by 2 upon x by 2. So this expression will also be equal to 1. So the result will be 1 by 2 into 1. that is 1 by 2. It is the answer. Now let us solve another question. In this question, we have to evaluate limit x tends to 0 sine 2x plus sine 3x upon 2x plus sine 3x. Now we have to evaluate the limit of this function as x tends to 0. So what we will do, we will divide numerator and denominator both by x. So we will get limit x tends to 0 sine 2x upon x plus sine 3x upon x upon 2 plus sine 3x upon x. So here we have divided both numerator and denominator by x. Now it will be equal to limit x tends to 0 sine 2x upon x. Now we will multiply and divide both by 2, right? We will multiply and divide this expression by 2. So it will be 2, and in denominator also there will be 2, right? Plus limit x tends to 0. Now see, sine 3x upon x. So in this expression also we will multiply it and divide it by 3. So we will get sine 3x upon 3x into 3. In denominator we have 2 plus limit x tends to 0. So here we have sine 3x. So here also we will multiply both numerator and denominator by 3. So we will get 3x into 3. Now see, as x tends to 0, therefore 2x will also tends to 0. So here we will have limit 2x tends to 0 sine 2x upon 2x plus, as x tends to 0, 3x will also tends to 0. So limit 3x tends to 0 sine 3x upon 3x. In denominator we have 2 plus limit. So as I told you, as x tends to 0, therefore 3x will also tends to 0. 3x tends to 0 sine 3x upon 3x. Now here we will use that theorem which I told you before also, that limit x tends to 0 sine x upon x is equal to 1. So when we use this theorem, when we apply this theorem in this expression, we will get what? 2 into 1 plus 3 into 1 upon 2 plus 3 into 1, and it will be equal to 5 upon 5, and it is equal to 1, right? So let us solve one more question which is similar to this one. Now we have to evaluate limit x tends to 0 cot 2x minus cosec 2x upon x, right? So let us solve this question. Limit x tends to 0. Now what is cot 2x? It is cos 2x upon sin 2x minus, what is cosec x? Cosec 2x, it is 1 upon sin 2x. In denominator we have x, right? So this will be equal to limit x tends to 0 cos 2x minus 1 upon sin 2x into x, right? Now it is equal to minus limit x tends to 0. So here in numerator we have cos 2x minus 1. Now we want to convert it into 1 minus cos 2x. So what we will do, we will take minus common. So it will become 1 minus cos 2x upon sin 2x into x. So it will be equal to minus limit x tends to 0. 1 minus cos 2x is what? It is twice sin square x upon sin 2x into x, right? Now what is sin 2x? The sin 2x is equal to 2 sin x into cos x, right? So we will substitute this value of sin 2x here in denominator. So we will have minus limit x tends to 0 2 sin square x upon 2 sin x cos x x. This 2 will cancel this 2. This sin x will cancel 1 sin x from here. So now we have minus limit x tends to 0. Sin x upon cos x is tan x. Tan x upon x. So limit of tan x upon x as x tends to 0 is 1. So it is equal to minus 1, right? So this is the answer.